Large language models are trained on huge amount of data. For example, Falcon 40 billion model has been trained on 1 trillion tokens with 40 billion parameters. This training took around 2 months and 384 GPUs on AWS. If you want to use these large language models or LLMs for your own data, then you need to adapt them or fine tune them. Fine tuning a model larger than 10 billion is an expensive and time consuming task. This is where Hugging Face PEFT library comes handy. PEFT stands for Parameter Efficient Fine Tuning. We can use a fine tuning technique called as QLoRA to train LLMs on our own data set in far less time using far less resources. QLoRA stands for quantized low rank adaptation and allows us to train a small portion of model without losing much efficiency. After the training is completed, there is no necessity to save the entire model as the base model remains frozen. In this video, I am going to walk you through the whole process of fine-tuning a model. As an example, I am fine-tuning Mistral 7B's sharded version by using GathNext's GathPlace dataset. I already did a video around these steps, but in this video, I'm going to walk you through each step and explaining what each parameter in each command means, because this is what is lacking from most of the videos and I'm trying to fill that gap here. The first step in this process in order to fine tune a model is to install some of the prerequisite libraries. The first one is pip install -q, which is a silent mode, and install all of these libraries, which are TRL, transformer, and so on. Let me explain what all of these libraries mean. The Hugging Face Transformer Reinforcement Learning or TRL library, the first one here, simplifies reinforcement learning from human feedback settings. Then we have Transformers. Transformers is a Python library that makes downloading and training state-of-the-art machine learning models very easy. Then there is Accelerate. Accelerate is a library that enables the same PyTorch code to be run across any distributed configuration by adding just 4 lines of code, and you will see later in the code. Then we have PEFT library. PEFT or parameter efficient fine tuning methods enable efficient adaptation of pre-trained language models or PLMs to various downstream applications without fine tuning all the model's parameters. Datasets is a library for easily accessing and sharing datasets for audio, computer vision, and natural language processing tasks. Bits and bytes is a lightweight wrapper around CUDA custom functions, in particular 8-bit optimizers and quantization functions. INOP stands for Einstein Inspired Notation for Operations. It is an open source Python framework for writing deep learning code in a new and better way. Then we have TikToken. TikToken is an open source tool developed by OpenAI that is utilized for tokenizing text. Tokenization is when you split the text string to a list of tokens. Tokens can be letters, words, or grouping of words. Then we have WANDB. WANDB is weights and biases. By using WANDB, you can track, compare, explain, and reproduce machine learning experiments. Then we have Xformers. Xformers is a PyTorch-based library which hosts flexible transformers parts. Then we have Sentence Piece. Sentence Piece is an unsupervised text tokenizer and detokenizer, mainly for neural network-based text generation systems where the vocabulary size is predetermined prior to neural model training. Okay, so I hope that this was useful. Now let's start from the steps after installing these prerequisites. Next step or the first step is to prepare our dataset. As I mentioned earlier, I'll be using Gath-based dataset comprising approximately 210K prompts to train Mistral 7 billion model. The dataset consists of a mixture of data from Alpaca, Stack Overflow, medical, and Cora datasets. And you can see that we are using load dataset method. In this load dataset function, we are loading the dataset with full train split, as we are going to use this data set in training and not in testing. If we would just be testing it, then we would use split is equal to test. And then we are simply printing out the model's values, and then we are just picking up top 50 sample so that to make it more shorter and quicker, and then we are displaying the first item in the list. Then we have this command NVIDIA-SMI. The NVIDIA SMI stands for NVIDIA System Management Interface, and it is a command line utility or CLI based on top of NVIDIA Management Library or NVML. The purpose of this library is to help in the management and monitoring of NVIDIA GPU devices. Okay. Now in the next step, we are going to create our large language model after fine tuning. Okay, now first thing we are doing is we are importing the Torch library. Torch is an open source machine learning library used for creating deep neural networks. Then as you can see from transformers, we are importing this auto model for causal LM. Now this auto model for causal LM is used for auto-regressive models. Regressive means referring to previous state. Auto-regressive models predict future values based on past values. And then we have tokenizer. A tokenizer is responsible for pre-processing text into an list of numbers as inputs to a model. Then we have bits and bytes library, which simplifies the process of model quantization, making it more accessible and user-friendly. Okay. Now, if you come down on line number 46, you will see that we are defining our bits and byte configuration. Bits and bytes config is a configuration for QLoRa. QLoRa stands for quantized low rank adaptation. QLoRa reduces the memory usage of LLM fine-tuning without performance trade-offs compared to standard 16-bit model fine-tuning. QLoRa uses 4-bit quantization to compress a pre-trained language model. The language model parameters are then frozen, and a relatively small number of trainable parameters are added to the model in the form of low-rank adapters. During fine-tuning, QLoRa back propagates gradients through the frozen 4-bit quantized pre-trained language model into the low-rank adapters. The LoRa layers are the only parameters being updated during training. Now, the basic way to load a model in 4-bit is to pass the argument load in 4-bit is equal to true. There are and then there are different variants of 4-bit quantization such as NF4, which stands for normalized float 4, and that is a default value. Or we can even use pure FP4 quantization, but NF4 is better for performance. Then we have this D type. You can change the compute D type of the quantized model by just changing the BNB 4-bit compute D type argument. A D type, which stands for data type, is an object which is describing how the bytes, the fixed size block of memory, correspond to an array item should be interpreted. Then we have this BNB 4-bit use double quart, which uses a second quantization after the first one to save an additional zero point 0.4 bits per parameter, but we are not using in our case, so we have set it to false. Right. Then we are using our auto model for causal LM, which is, as I said earlier, it is used for auto-regressive models. And then we are passing all of these values which we have obtained from above. That will generate our model. And then we are setting few other parameters like config use cache is equal to false. Now, what it means is that when fine tuning the model, you want to use the updated model parameters, not the old ones. Using the old or cached values really defeats the purpose of fine tuning. So that is why the past key values are disregarded for the fine tuned model. And then we have this value here. Setting config.pretraining TP to a value different than 1 will activate the more accurate but slower computation of linear layers. So that is why we have set it to 1. And then we have this gradient checkpointing. It is only needed if training leads to out of memory error. So it's a sort of best practice which we are using in our case. And then we are calling this function prepare model for k bit training with all the parameters. Cool. Now in the next step, we are going to create our tokenizer. And you can see that we are using different values like pad token, EOS token, and boss token. Pad token is a special token used to make array of token the same size for batching purpose. EOS token is a special token used as an end of sentence token. BOS token is a special token representing the beginning of a sentence. Okay. Now, if you come down, you will see that we have something called as LoRa config. LoRa is low rank adaptation, which I described earlier, what exactly that is, and QLoRa. And LoRa config allows you to control how LoRa is applied to the base model through the following parameters, which you can see here. LoRa alpha is a scaling factor. R is the rank of update matrices expressed in integer. Low rank results in smaller update matrices with fewer trainable parameters. Then we have bias, which specifies if the bias parameters should be trained. It can be none, all, or LoRa only. So we have set it to none because we are using weights. And then we have some target modules, which are the modules to apply the LoRa update matrices such as attention blocks. And I describe in another video all of these target modules in great detail. Okay, then if you come down a little, we have some of the other parameters such as training parameters or training arguments. In this, let me explain few of the most important ones. We have num train epochs. This is the total number of training epochs to perform. Then we have per device train batch size. This is the batch size per GPU or TPU for training. That we have gradient accumulation, that is a technique that simulates a larger batch size by accumulating gradients from multiple small batches before performing a weight update. This technique can be helpful in scenarios where the available memory is limited and the batch size that can fit in memory is small. This parameter tells the optimizer how far to move the weights the direction opposite of the gradient for a mini batch. Then we have warm-up Russian. It is a ratio of total training steps used for linear warm-up from 0 to learning rate. Max steps is set if it is set to a positive number, the total number of training steps to perform will be listed here. Okay, if you come down, then we have this SFT trainer. SFT trainer is a light wrapper around the transformer trainer to easily fine-tune language models or adapters on custom data set. Then we have this max sequence length here. That is the maximum sequence length to use for the constant length dataset and for automatically creating the dataset. The default value is 512. SFT trainer supports example packing, as you can see here, where multiple short examples are packed in the same input sequence to increase training efficiency, but we are not using in our case. And then there are simple steps where we are using the above value. We have started the training here, we are saving the model, and then whatever we have saved here, we are loading it again by using the same configuration which we use above when were using the base model. And then we are simply creating an inference down in the bottom where we are passing it a prompt in the prompt template required by the model and then outputting the values after decoding the tokenizer. So that's about it. So this is the whole process of fine tuning a base model according to a custom data set, and the basic objective of this video to explain different commands and parameters which are used in this case at one location. I hope that you found it useful. If you still have any confusion or you if I missed any command or parameter to explain, or if you have any doubts, please um, share them in the comments. And if you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much.